Welcome to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I'm Danielle DeTeach, or Coach Danny D, and I help women to create luxury brands by creating processes and tightening their branding. This is where we talk about how to build your business in a way that allows you to work with ease and enjoy your life. My happy space is spending as much time as humanly possible in my pajamas, and I want to help others to find their happy space while still running profitable businesses. So get comfortable and let's dig in. Hi, this is Coach Danny D with Workflow and also with the Profits in Pajamas podcast. So, through Workflow, I help small businesses play big. And a big part of that is incorporating some of the things that big corporations use in their operations into small businesses because those principles work and they can be transferred and translated into things that will work for small businesses. A lot of times we skip over those things. We don't do the things in our small business that will set us up for growth, for success. We just think about it as, something that we're doing and we kind of let it happen to us as opposed to controlling how it happens and being intentional about how it happens. And when I say controlling how it happens, I mean life is going to happen. We don't have control over that, but we do have control over how we present and being intentional about that. So, today, what I want to talk to you about is company culture. And that's a term that you'll hear a lot in larger businesses, larger corporations. They'll talk a lot about company culture. And some are successful at it and some aren't. Some businesses, think about some places that if you've been employed before, some places that you've worked, they may say, "Oh, our culture is," and they, may throw out, most companies have 3 to 5 words that describe their culture, and they may throw that out there, but you may work there and never experience that or feel that that's true. That being said, on the flip side, there's some companies that culture is so prevalent that, even though we don't work there, we just know about it and have experienced it either as a consumer or just as an observer because their culture is so strongly tied to their business that it's clear, that's what their business about. The example that often comes up is Chick-fil-A. Most people who have experienced Chick-fil-A, who are, customers of Chick-fil-A, will tell you that if they describe the experience, they will describe it the same no matter where they are in the country, no matter, which location they're frequenting, that means that their culture is very strong. Their culture has permeated to where that's the experience that you have. Recently, there was an incident that happened with Sesame Place, and the incident happened where two little girls were overlooked by the character, and initially, the statement from the company was, "Oh, that's, you know, first they said that, no, that's not what happened. It's hard for the characters to see." And then several other photos surfaced, I mean, video surfaced, um, confirming that this is an issue that they're having. But the thing that stood out to me when this happened and all the statements were made from both Sesame Place and then the Sesame Street organization, which is the higher organization, was that the origins of Sesame Street were based on inclusivity. before that was a buzzword, like way before that was a buzzword. So um then that brings me back as a business owner to that thought of, okay, so as a business owner, I start this business, I have this in mind, the quality of customer service, my mission behind what I do, all of those things in place. And how do I translate that so that, no matter how big I become as a business, that continues to be translated, big or small. That needs to be clear to the customer because that's the reason why you're doing what you do. And that is, you know, tied to who you serve, right? So you're doing these things to give a certain experience to your clients. But if you have not, one, clearly defined what that company culture is, you may not have a mission statement or a vision. You may not have done those particular things. Um, then you're creating a situation where if you're not clear, if your staff is not clear on your company culture, how is that then going to be clear to the client? How is that going to be translated? And I know some of you may be thinking, okay, well, I'm a solopreneur. There's nothing to translate. There is still something to translate. You still are putting an energy out there. You're still creating an experience for your client, and it's either done accidentally or it's done thoughtfully. When it's done thoughtfully, then it's easier to continue to translate that over and over again. It's easier then as you expand to make sure that the people that you hire are also in the same belief, are also treating your business in the same way. And it's not 100% because, again, let's, say about this Sesame Place situation. Okay, everything that you did to create Sesame Street was based on inclusivity, making sure that kids that were Black and brown were getting quality education in their formative education. And then, fast forward, several years, and now you have this, situation that's going on where there's definitely, some kind of bias that's happening. And so even if you have it, that doesn't guarantee that it's going to pan out because you have to really live it. You have to live it. And I'll use an example. So, um, last night, actually, I went to an event and I had seen pictures of the venue before I got there. And the venue is littered with peacocks. And I love, love, love peacocks. Like, I love that jewel tone, like aesthetic. I just love it. So I purposely, I had a dress that kind of fit that theme and wore it because that's just me. So I'm standing there and I see a lady with a cocktail that mimics the peacock color. And so I order it because it matches my dress, right? But as I'm standing there, it's a networking event and they're getting ready to start just introducing the venue owner and some of the sponsors of the event. And I'm standing there and this lady that I didn't know, but she just had a beautiful smile, warm energy. She like walks up to me and she says, "Has anyone taken your picture yet with your drink in your dress?" And I said, "No." And I hand her my phone and she takes a few pictures and I mean, her energy was just so inviting. Well, as they do the presentation, I realized she is the owner of the venue. But it was her inviting nature that drew me into her. And then later she, came around. She was, walking around the room talking to different people. And she came back and she was sharing about the history of the venue. But I've been to several venues before. I've heard people talk about their venue, but the energy and the life that was in her as she talked about it, that spoke to her, connection, and that was a part of the culture of that space. And that just that exchange makes me want to return to that space because she embodied her company culture. She embodied, the inviting, it also doubles as that like an Airbnb. I mean, not Airbnb. It's a hotel as well. And so she just gave this energy that made you want to be there. And that's what company culture boils down to at the end of the day is a culture that makes your staff want to be there, that makes you want to be there, and that makes your customers, your clients want to be there because it fits with them. I often talk about team alignment. It creates an alignment. It creates an alignment sort of situation. And it was, evident in, even before I talked to her, the bartenders were, super had that, that friendly, very, homesy, cozy type of vibe. Towards the end, her husband came in. I didn't know, that that's who that was, but he just came in and that whole energy just exuded throughout. That is what you want to create in your business. That is what you want to create so that when people, encounter you, they know who you are and what you're about. And it's not always about being bubbly. That might not be your your vibe, but that may not be the vibe that you present in your business. It may be a totally different vibe. You may be a yogi, or you may own a spa, and so your energy is then a little more, zen and calm. That the energy, the culture is going to be unique to your business. But what is it? What is it about? And are you being intentional about it? Are you being intentional about, putting that forward? Because sometimes we want to read professional, so we lock some of that stuff down. But let that out. Let people know what you are about. A lot of times people may not realize that you care a lot about what you're producing and your client's happiness. I'm in a creative field. I work with a lot of creatives, and like Erica Badu says, I'm an artist. I'm sensitive about my we care about what we do, and we may not always wear that on our sleeve, because we have to do business and we have to be able to, continue to move forward. But ultimately we do care, and that may not always be, prominent because we don't want to put our feelings on display. But sometimes that's the part of the culture, and that's part of what makes people love you and love working with you. So I don't want to continue to ramble on, but I just want to remind you that sometimes it's the things that, we don't think about or we think are not important that we skip over in our businesses that are some of the most important things, that are the things that kind of set the stage and move you forward. And as I was walking out, the conversation that I had with the lady last night was about learning about what is for you, what you are interested in, and what you're not. And she said, she said, I'm at that age. She's like, you're probably not at that age yet. And I said, no, honestly, I am. And we weren't the same age, but the point was, it doesn't matter what age you are. You don't have to get to an age to be that way. Know what you are and what you aren't, and that's a part of your company culture as well. And when you're clear on that, you provide clarity for your customers and you provide an overall better experience. So that's just something I wanted to share with you guys. Please stop skipping over steps. If these big, huge corporations that we know, very well and purchase from and probably would purchase from even if we didn't see a commercial for them because we've been doing business with them for so long, if those companies still find it valuable to invest in these underlying principles, then why wouldn't you do them in your business? Why would you not do those same things in your business? So that's what I want to talk about this morning. Please stop cutting those corners or skipping those steps, because really those steps put a little work on you in the front end, and you'll hear me say that about several things that I talk about. There's a lot of times where we do that front end work, but that front end work is how we get to that, profits in pajamas, work with ease lifestyle. That's how you get there. You do that front end work, and that front end work starts to build attraction, and people come into your space without you having to work as hard to get them there, because you basically set the stage. You set the stage, and now they're ready to come in and they feel like it's tailor made for them. So um, be sure to catch up. It's summer. You got a little time left before back to school and all that stuff. Go back and binge watch old episodes of the podcast, or listen to. We're both on YouTube and on podcast streaming platforms. So go back and listen to some of the previous episodes. And I also have a workshop coming up on August the 3rd. So it is um, there's 3 secrets to creating a luxury brand. And I will be talking about some of the secrets that took my brand into being a luxury brand, of connecting to my ideal clients, and having that connection make things so much easier in my business, as well as having that, catapult my business into a 6-figure business. So I definitely want you to be at the workshop. It is a free workshop. You can go and sign up at luxurybrandworkshop.com. You can also go to coachdannyd.com, and there's something on the homepage there where you can connect and sign up if you are looking to build some of those things in your business, and you don't know where to start. So you've heard of a mission statement, you've heard of company culture, you've heard of a lot of these different things, but you really just don't know how to implement those things, or they just seem intimidating. As a coach, I am the type of coach that I'm breaking everything down for you into the simplest form, because it's not about me flexing on what I know. It's about me making sure that you have an understanding of it and can use it in your business. I want you to see results. And for you to see results, you have to have first that understanding. Then you have to have a plan to be actionable. And that's what I work on with my clients. So if you are in need of someone to help you along that process, reach out. You can book a discovery call, and we can talk further about what your needs are and what products or services fit those needs. So I'm here for you, and I'm here for that. Have a good rest of your week, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you for listening to the Profits in Pajamas podcast. I hope you got some great tips to start working with ease. Want to stay connected? Follow me at Your Workflow on Instagram. For more information about building your luxury brand, register for my upcoming luxury brand workshop at coachdannyd.com.